Okay. So I'm gonna just start out by saying we're all obviously in a relationship with real estate, and it can become a real estate career can become 80-hour, 100-hour weeks for some of you guys between all of the paperwork that we have to do, meeting the client, showing the houses, contract to close. It's just so much. And it doesn't really leave a lot of room for actually prospecting and finding, hitting up your sphere, finding clients to work with. And I think most of the agents that get out of real estate school fail in the first 2 years because they don't know how to find clients. And some of us don't have a 200-person sphere. Some of you guys only have a 30 or 40-person sphere, and the idea of hitting them up over and over and over again for referrals or transactions doesn't seem appealing. Some folks are just not good at that, connecting with their sphere. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not putting down sphere marketing or SOI marketing. I actually do a lot of it. Most people don't know that. I work my past client database to the maximum, and I do get a lot of business. At least 50% of my business comes from my sphere. But I didn't want my business to have holes in it. I didn't want to have months where I didn't have a transaction to close, and I filled the gap with leads. A funny story that I could tell you guys is I had realtor.com training about 15 years ago, and the lady was on the call, and there was about 40 agents on it. And she said, you guys are spending hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars buying these leads from us, and you're not calling them in the first 5 minutes. And then you're trying them one or two times and they might not answer, and you're wasting this money. You're basically burning money. And she said, look, the way you have to look at this is somebody might have reached out and they forgot. And you either need to get in touch with this person and make sure that they get the help that they need or the information that they asked for in the beginning, or you need to have, they to the point where they either need to tell you, oh, okay, fine, I'm here, or they'll file a restraining order against you. She's like, if you're paying $250 a lead, like, who cares? And honestly, in the whole scheme of things, in my 20 years of doing this, I really haven't had anyone be that angry, where they just cussed me out too much. I think I can basically count on two hands how many times I've been cussed out. People are generally pretty nice. So the idea here is don't be scared. And that's the most important thing. Don't be scared. So there is such thing as call reluctance. I don't know why we all have it. Everybody has it. I still have it after 20 years of dealing with internet leads. A little bit of background about me, and I won't go into it too much, but I had an internet website before Zillow existed back in 2004, 2005. And I bought Google pay-per-click leads. And back then, $800 to $1,000 a month got you a ton of leads. They were $1, $2. And I focus on waterfront Lake Norman. And so anybody who typed in waterfront home Lake Norman was possibly a lead that I purchased, and it came to me, and I just took the cream off the top. I only called the ones that had a phone number. I emailed some of them. I randomly reached out to these leads, you guys, and I did probably $200,000 in commissions with total strangers those years. So it does work. When Zillow came out, obviously I jumped on board with that. They started selling leads to agents, and I was very interested because I was working my sphere and my past clients after 3 or 4 years, but then I recognized an opportunity to catch new relocation people coming here to Lake Norman wanting to buy a waterfront house. Who wouldn't want to sell $1 million waterfront estate every month? So that was appealing to me, and that's my background. I also spent several years in a car dealership making 400 calls a week to auto leads, which are the worst. And so I'm going to go a little bit into that. The consumer, you guys, is really smart consumer, or so we think, right? What's so super funny is they're on these websites. They go on Zillow, they go on realtor.com, they're clicking around on Facebook, and they see a house or something related to real estate article, and they are so clicky these days, right? They click, click, click. And then sometimes Facebook even pre-fills their information, like their phone number and their email that they put in with their Facebook account. And wouldn't you know it, Zillow says, they click on some things because they want to see more pictures, or they want to see, over the years, some of these websites have changed their tactics. They allowed you to see only so much, and then you had to put your information in there to see the rest of the information, to see the rest of the details. And what happened is, they thought, oh, I'm just going to put my stuff in here. We think the consumer's smart, and they think, somebody might call them or contact them. But in reality, they have no idea. They just put it in there to get to the next screen. They're not thinking that someone might reach out. They think Zillow is getting their information. They think Facebook is getting their information. Little do they know. And actually, when they're asking questions, I would say 8 out of 10 consumers think they're reaching out to the listing agent or the seller of a property every single time. So what makes these people click, right? And what exactly are they looking for? You guys remember, we're in an Amazon world right now. It's like really advanced these days from what it used to be. But someone would put their information, and they would hope that someone might let them know by an email. Their expectation is they're going to get an email or access to the information they wanted. They have no idea that a real person might reach out. So what did all the real estate agents do the last few years? They didn't reach out. They sent an email, right? Because all the agents are scared. They don't know what to say. They're really confused. They got the lead. They got the information. They might have called one time, got voicemail. What do you guys do when you get a call with an unknown number? You don't answer it, right? So, this is a life cycle of how leads kind of work. And with the Amazon world, you guys remember, they're in front of the computer right now at 10 p.m., 10:05 p.m. at night. They clicked on a house. They want to know more information. They might want to even see it tomorrow at 11. And if they don't get an answer by email right then and there, they might actually click on somebody else's stuff. They might click on 5 houses, not really knowing what they're doing. They might not even know that they're even in the market. They're just curious. And so what that means to you guys is they really understand the consumer has no idea what they're doing. They're not smart. They are smart and they're not smart. It's 2 things. Not smart meaning they just really have no idea why they're clicking a lot of times. But sometime I want you guys to understand the motivation is there. There's some kind of something there. There's a little bit of something, maybe more than others. So your job is to weed out who are the more serious ones and who are the less serious ones. When I always tell the story, when you go into a store, and I always use the example of White House Black Market because their customer service is top notch. Those ladies in that store want to sell you clothes. They make commission, and they want to sell you entire outfits with shoes. So when you walk in the door of a store, it could even be Gap or anything. You're walking into the store and the person says, "Hi, welcome to White House Black Market. How can I help you?" And of course, what is your answer? "Oh, I'm good. Thank you. I'm just looking. So this applies to real estate. When somebody clicks on some stuff and you call right away and you're like, "Hi, I'm Sandy with Remax. How can I help you?" They're like, I just clicked on a house. I'm not really serious. I don't know. I'm not ready. Thank you for calling. I have a real estate agent. Thank you so much." But then what happens is, as the person walks around the store, they're looking at clothes. Might not even know anything that they want to buy in particular. And they might go to like the rack of pants or the dresses, and they might see this amazing dress and go, "Oh my gosh, I really need to try this on." So what do you do when you're ready to try on? You look everywhere. You look all over the store for this person that greeted you. Where are they? And then there's another lady standing there. What do? You grab the first lady or guy, let's just say, person at the store to help you, to get you in the dressing room because you're ready to try that dress on right now. You found something you weren't expecting. You want to try it on, and where is that real estate agent that greeted you? You have no idea. You don't even remember their name or anything they told you in the first 5 seconds that you walked in the door. So again, this applies to real estate. You call this person one time, you never call them again, they don't have your contact info. They're going to grab the first real estate agent to let them in a house that they see, and it's not going to be you if you haven't already followed up 25 times. So there's also this saying, and you guys have heard it in marketing, that someone needs to see a message 7 to 12 times before they actually see it, right? McDonald's knows this, all the big corporations, Starbucks. I mean, if you guys saw a Starbucks logo, you know exactly what it is, even if it didn't say Starbucks. Same with McDonald's, the arches, right? So they don't know you. You're a total stranger. One call is not going to do it. So there's different types of leads, and I'll go over that in a second. Let me change my screen. So if you guys can see this, this is the funnel of leads, right? There's top of funnel where leads are just coming in, they're just starting their buyer journey, they've indicated an initial interest. Then there are middle of funnel leads. These are people that demonstrated continued interest, still may not be ready to buy. They're just checking out homes. They haven't even talked to their spouse yet. Maybe they haven't, they're not even pre-approved. These are people that are just clicking middle of funnel, like, oh, I might want to buy something. I just haven't even gotten that far. And then bottom of funnel leads are, I am ready to buy this weekend. Every agent I've ever met wants the bottom of funnel leads. That's the sweet spot. That's what everyone is interested in. They expect every call to be a bottom of funnel lead, and they're really always disappointed when it's not. When someone says, oh, I was just clicking, I don't know what I want, it's easy to say, okay, I'm not going to call this person anymore. I'm done with you. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what we do. My team, if I could get this screen to work, let's see. Move this bar down here. So my team does leads at a very high level. I have them filtered out right here, but we have over 10,000 people in this database. Right here, you see that we're working 5,469 people. Why would we have this many? Because I've been buying leads for 15 years or more than 15 years. I don't throw data away, you guys. Why would I not trash some of these people? They're not trash, they're in a pond. There's some in a pond. The reason being is everyone buys every like 3 to 5 years. So even if they told me I already bought a home last year with another real estate agent, I still have their data. I'm still going to market them. I still want to be in front of them because they might not have had a good experience with their agent, and I might still have a chance. This is the long game. You have to play the long game with internet leads. You cannot just hope once in a while you're going to sell a house that weekend to someone who called. We have a lot of different types of leads coming in. So I buy different sources of leads. I have a website leads. I have Zillow leads. I have realtor.com leads, Sphere leads, Facebook leads, you name it. They all come in. We have different drip programs that go to these leads. They go round robin to the agents on my team. I have high expectations of how to handle the leads. Mainly, you have to call within the first 5 minutes or less. Jonathan Dean made a very good post the other day. If you guys didn't see it on Facebook, he calls in 30 seconds because literally that's how fast a consumer is clicking. They click on a website, they click on another website, they click on another website, and when all the agents are calling them, blowing their phone up, it's like whoever gets it first. It really is a mad grab for the consumer. These agents are deluded, you guys. People now know. Some of them know that someone's going to call and they're ready for it and they're ready to ignore you and send you to voicemail. So now the tips and tricks are texting, call, text, and email all at the same time. And if you have an automated system like Follow Up Boss will text them, will email them, put them on an automatic drip campaign. I have videos in my Follow Up Boss with me talking. So they get a video from me saying, hey, this is Sandy with Remax. You have inquired on a lead on Zillow or Facebook, and we just got your information and we want to make sure you get the information you need. We want to help you. So one of the team members is reaching out to you right now. So please answer your phone. It's us calling you back with the information you need. Please answer your phone. So that's like one of the first videos I send out. What's crazy right now is like really great converting agents are actually just doing a text video from their phone immediately. Like, hey, this is me. I'm a real person. The consumer is more likely to talk to you, use you, remember you if they see your face. So you guys cannot be reluctant about showing video, whatever you look like. I mean, if you look sweaty and you have your hair in a ponytail, you're wearing a ball cap, like who cares? Just do the video. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about what could possibly be a $10, $20, $30,000 commission. So you really can't care what you look like. They don't care what you look like. And when you are showing them homes, they're going to see what you look like anyway. So top of funnel, obviously, I'm going to go through the types of leads. Top of funnel are people that click on Facebook ads. I mean, Facebook ads really aren't, people are on social media for entertainment. So when they click on a Facebook ad, they really don't, they're really not even probably in the market to purchase, but I would say those would be the worst leads for me. Facebook and sometimes even website leads. You know, they're on your website, they want to look at homes, they're shopping. I might call them and ask them, you know, what are they doing? What, you know, how they come to click on the ad. And, you know, some of them are like, I'm just looking around, I'm just messing around. And maybe they're lying. I don't know why people like to lie to us. They just want to get you off the phone. They don't want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you that they might be getting a divorce. They don't want to tell you that they might be having a baby. They're just not quite ready to share personal information with a total stranger that just called them on the phone. So engagement with these funnel leads. Oh, the best funnel leads would be pay-per-click. I don't know if you guys understand that, or Zillow, realtor.com. I don't feel the same about realtor.com. I think Zillow has a bigger name out there in the market, but pay-per-click and Zillow, if somebody is asking for a tour on Zillow, you're pretty sure that they're bottom of the funnel. They're ready to transact pretty soon. They might not even be pre-approved. They still don't know what they want. They're just starting their home search, but they're more motivated than just someone clicking on a Facebook ad. So Zillow and pay-per-click. Pay-per-click can be costly. Right now, remember I told you guys back in like 2005, I was paying like $1 or $2 for someone that searched waterfront Lake Norman. Now it's $20 to get a really qualified pay-per-click lead for a city of my choice. So, you know, that's really important to know. You can spend a lot of money, and if you're not good at converting and you guys don't do this training and these scripts, you're going to waste thousands of dollars, and you're going to say, Sandy, these leads suck. And I'm going to say, no, the leads don't suck. You suck. You suck at calling them and handling them. It's true. I know, like, that's hard to hear, you know, but it's true. I've been doing this long enough. Like, you know, you guys can see we have thousands of leads. They're coming in. Like a few seconds ago, a lead came in for $525,000 house. So it's important to know. Next, engagement. What does that mean? Okay, so obviously you guys know you're not going to call a person and say, hey, would you like to buy a house with me? Yeah. So if someone came on a little bit ago and, you know, looked at a $525,000 house, and I want to know, you have to be a natural interrogator, investigator. I don't know what you want to call it, but you need to be nosy. You need to know why this person is clicking. You need to ferret out the motivation. Number one is the motivation, 100%. And Jonathan was saying the other day, he does it by having a general conversation with them and being pretty nosy with them. He just kind of starts asking them a bunch of questions about why did they click on the website and what were they looking for. So you guys, these leads, remember, they don't know what they're doing. And to understand, Zillow has spent millions and millions of dollars studying this consumer and where they're at in the life cycle of the process. And they say the average lead is 18 months. And you're like, what? 18 months? I have to follow this person for 18 months. Yes, you do. I sold someone that was on my website 3 years later. So you have to chase them down for years. And if you're not into that, this is not the strategy for you. So you have to be organized. You have to have a fancy database. You don't have to have a super fancy. There are some out there for $99, right? A month or even a year. So ask me, I'll give you guys some examples. If you're on the budget and you want to spend more money on the leads and less money on the database, I can help you with that. So another thing to learn is that these people, they don't even know what they want. You have to be really good at the script and you have to be quick because they're going to get off the phone with you. So the first thing you do when you call someone is say, hi, you introduce yourself. Don't be a ghost. Don't be a stranger. Say, hey, I'm Sandy with Remax. How are you today? And they're like, oh, I'm good. And you're like, hey, I'm calling you about your inquiry on Zillow. I'm just going to use that as an example. You inquired on a house at 12601, whatever, you know, and I say to them, when would you like to see it? And they're like, what? Huh? I'm like, yeah, when would you like to see it? When would you like to see the house? Don't say, well, how can I help you? They're going to say, I'm good. Thank you. I was just clicking. Sorry. Let me get off the phone. Hold on 1 second. Let me close this door. So basically, you're not going to ask an open-ended question at all, ever. This has changed over the years. You're going to ask them immediately for an appointment. Every single inquiry these days comes on a property address. Number two, you're going to ask them, if they say, yes, I'd love to see it, or whatever they say, doesn't really matter. You're going to ask them, what made you click on this home? What made you interested in this home? I'm just giving you like different questions you could ask. Why did they like that home on 12601 Culpeper Drive or whatever? What made them finally click? Because you guys know they've probably looked at 50 homes already. Why did they click on that one and put their phone and their email? You have to ask this question or you're never going to understand where they're at. I promise you guys, they will tell you everything you want to hear with the right questions, and never take one answer as the answer. Like I always say, go 3 questions deep. You say, they say, oh, I really like homes with pools. Awesome. Have you been looking at homes with pools long? This is a different question than asking if they're working with an agent. How long have you been looking at homes with pools? Did you just start looking? You don't want to ask them if they're working with a real estate agent, because what is their answer going to be, you guys? It's like the White House black market. I'm good. I have an agent. I know somebody. We know, we've done the research. They're not signed with anyone. I promise you, they're not signed with anyone yet. They just started clicking on Facebook. They're going to tell you they have somebody. Everyone knows 5 agents. And they're going to tell you they have somebody just so they can get you off the phone. They do not want to be on the phone. Half the time they're at work and they're like surprised when you call. So like ask them questions about themselves. So what made you click on pool homes? Oh, you're looking for a pool home? How long have you been looking for a home with a pool? Oh, you just started last week. Awesome. Where do you live now? Oh, you live in Charlotte? Where in Charlotte? Awesome. Oh, wow. Do you rent or own that house? Like if you guys listen to me, I'm interviewing this client to see if they're any good for me. How's your credit looking? You know, have you, can you buy without selling? Do you need to get out of a lease? Those are some questions I ask on the call. I just say, hey, um, I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to see if we can go look at this house on 12601 Culpeper. And I want to meet you. I want to be your agent. I don't say that, but generally that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get their buy-in that I care about what the consumer is wanting, and I'm interested in their journey for looking at real estate. And I'm not just trying to make a sale. I'm over here just trying to figure out what they're trying to do, where they are in the life cycle of the process, and how I can help them achieve that. Number one, Zillow will explain, and I'll show you a little Zillow here. They have a conversion playbook. I'm happy to share this with you guys. My team is a Zillow Flex team. We no longer pay for leads with Zillow. Zillow takes a referral fee on the back end, but in order to qualify for this program, we had to have incredible conversion rates, because obviously they don't want to waste their leads on us if we're not going to close them. So we do a lot of training about around conversion. And I have a growth coach that I, talk to every single week. We have graphs and charts and conversion numbers that we have to meet in order to stay in this qualified program. It's very important that we handle the leads how Zillow wants us to. And just to give you an idea, they have this playbook. I'll go through it a little bit. And it just talks about the sales process. It talks about where people are in the funnel. It talks about connections. And it talks about the do's and don'ts. And here are the top 3 things that you have to ask in the call. Number 1, appointment. You ask for an appointment right away. 87% of internet lead consumers are going to work with the first agent they meet in person. 87%, I'm going to say it again, work with the first agent they meet in person, regardless of experience or sales track record. So you could be a brand new agent right out of the gate, and if you meet a person from the internet to show them a property, you are 87% in the door to working with that consumer. So the number one goal that Zillow spent millions and millions of dollars on, they realized that the most highest conversion agents ask for the appointment right the first question in the call. Hi, this is Sandy. How are you doing today? I'm with Remax. What time would you like to see 12601 Culpeper Drive today? Pretty easy. You don't ask any other questions. You stop, wait, listen to their answer, still try to make an appointment. Maybe if it's later in the week, obviously you guys know it's a hot market right now. And so the house might not even be available later. So you really have to push for the appointment, and you have to say that, hey, these homes are selling really fast. Is there any way that you can do before Friday? If not, that's okay. Because the next question is, were there any other homes you were looking at on Zillow that you'd like to see? I'm sure that you've clicked on 50 homes. Were there any other homes that you like? Sure. Okay, awesome. I'll add those to our showing appointments. Great. What locations would you like me to focus on? Would you like me to focus on Cornelius, Davidson, Huntersville? Where are you living now? Oh, you're renting? Okay, when is your lease up? Okay, great. That's the motivation, you guys. When do you have to move by? The easiest question would be, when do you have to move? And a lot of times they say, well, I don't have to move, right? Everybody says that. I don't have to move. I can move whenever I want to. These people they don't even know if they can buy. They haven't even been pre-qualified, most of them. I would say like 99% of the people that are on internet leads have not actually even talked to a lender. So here you are. Yes, I'm going to admit it. You are making an appointment with an unqualified prospect. Maybe a lot of listing agents out there will hate you for that. I'm sorry. But you know what? The only way you're going to meet someone and make a relationship and help them to get pre-qualified, because they might not even know how to do it, is to meet them at a house. And yes, you're meeting a total stranger. If you're uncomfortable with that, I'm sorry, this is not the strategy for you. bring a gun, concealed carry permit, whatever, get some bear spray. I don't know what you might need to feel better about it. Take someone with you. Like, come on, you guys, there's some teams. You guys can go together. It's not a big deal. Share a customer, 50-50. It's awesome. If you feel weird, take your team leader. If you feel funky about it and you're a woman, get a man on your team and your office to go meet the person. Be safe, right? There's not a lot. I mean, I would say we're all scared about the big bad out there, but most of these consumers are just normal people like me and you. And they're actually really nerve-wracked about meeting someone, but they do want to get in a house. Remember, we do real estate for a living. We might not want to look at houses for fun because we do it every day, but people want to look at houses for fun. So you will get shoppers. You will get people that have no intentions of buying. And there's an occasional bad person out there that just wants to waste your time. You can't be protected. There's a little bit of risk in everything. No risk, no reward, right? So meeting a bunch of strangers all the time, meeting them all the time, building a good rapport in person. Then you can ask if they've talked to a lender in person. Then you can ask the hard questions. But what I did learn with one of my newer agents, he's only 26, and bless his heart, he is afraid to ask people like real dialed in questions like, so have you talked to a lender? Do you have a house to sell? I mean, it's hard. I take it for granted. I've been doing this a really long time. But you do need to get good with asking every single question, because here's the way that somebody explained it to me years ago. You are interviewing them to see if you want to work with them. You do not want to show 20 homes on the first appointment to find out that they have a bankruptcy that from last year, they can't buy anything. You really need to ask all the questions up front before you start making a million appointments. Don't get excited and put the cart before the horse. Make a couple appointments. It's not a waste of your time to show one or two houses, to engage the consumer, try to build rapport and ask the tough questions. But the meeting in person, and I've always told everyone this, when you're walking in the house, I am not looking at 12601 Culpeper. I could care less about that house. They are not going to buy that house. I think I've sold 10 houses out of 1,000 houses. That was the house they bought. 10. Okay, so the odds are they are not going to buy the house that you're showing them. So why would I sit there and look at it in detail and walk around and look at every room? I'm not. The whole time I'm interviewing the consumer. I'm asking them those questions, because you don't want to ask them on the phone. It might make them feel weird. Like, what's your financial situation, right? So you build a little rapport on the phone, you set the appointment, and the goal is to go and interview them at the first house. So crazy. I always bring a huge packet too, by the way. I always bring a packet of all the houses we're looking at, all the MLS sheets, the realist reports. Come prepared. Bring a little brochure of yourself. If you don't have one, Remax actually has a buyer presentation. Use that, print it out. So this is a little bit about what Zillow expects. And to be honest with you, these are not the type of questions you might ask a Facebook lead. That might be a little bit different. A Facebook lead or a further up on the funnel lead, you might want to ask, you might not want to try to set an appointment with somebody who just clicked on an ad. You might say, hey, I saw you clicked on an ad. You don't necessarily need to make an appointment. I still try, but I say, are there any homes you'd like to look at this weekend? Where are you at in the buying process? Have you looked at any homes yet? You just started clicking on things. Have you looked at any homes? What kind of things do you like in a home? What type of home do you need? A 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom? Who would be moving with you? When does that need to happen? Okay, great, awesome. I don't ask, are they working with an agent? If they want to supply that information, great. I ask them, are you signed with them? If they tell me I'm working with an agent, oh, awesome. Who is it? The reason I ask, who is it, is because I want to know if it's real. They lie, you guys. They lie. Yeah, I'm working with an agent. They just want to get you off the phone. They just want to get in the house. They don't know if they want to commit to you. It's kind of like asking for the marriage before the proposal, right? So don't ask about the agent. If they want to supply it, great. Yes, you can get to the house and they go, oh yeah, I'm working with Candy LaMonica. And I'm like, oh, great. She's awesome. I love her. Did you sign anything yet? I'm sorry, but if I just paid a bunch of money for this internet lead, I'm going to try. And if they say, you know what, I didn't, but I am going to work with her, I go, great. That's awesome. I can show you this house real quick because we have the appointment, but I actually can't step on anybody's toes. We have a realtor code of ethics. And if you want to continue working with Candy, you really need to call her. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I thought I was calling the listing agent. And I didn't want to bother Candy because she was on vacation. Yeah, this happens a lot, you guys. No risk, no reward. Don't forget. You have to meet some of these people. You just don't know. And I have a good story for you guys. Willow Heverly on my team went to show a house and she brought her little boy with her. And whether you agree that bringing a kid on a showing is right or wrong, I don't really care. But she did, she had to. She wanted to go show this internet lead. She knows that the internet leads are good, they're important. She went to the showing. This girl has kids. She's very a big person in our area. Everyone knows her. She was like the top Mary Kay consultant for like all of North Carolina or something like that. And I actually knew her. A lot of people know her. She knows probably 100 real estate agents because of all the Mary Kay parties. And she said to Willow, oh my gosh, I had no idea you weren't the agent when I called, and I feel so bad. I have a real estate agent that I was going to use. It's a family friend. And thank you. I appreciate so much all your information and everything that you answered for me. And I'm so sorry. I feel so badly. She said, no problem. I totally get it. You know, I understand this happens sometimes. And she left the appointment. She did follow up. We have rules on my team to follow up and just ask, how is your real estate agent relationship going? Are you still planning on using that agent? If they haven't signed anything, it's still okay for us to ask. We'd like to know, you know, are they going to move forward with their other real estate agent? She reached out and said, hey, I know you have a house in Highland Creek. I do have some buyers looking in that area and I'd love to show it sometime. You know, and by the way, how's your relationship with your real estate agent going? Is it going okay? And she actually said to Willow, you know what? I had to talk with my husband. I really want you to come look at my house. We do want to sell it. We're not quite sure we're going to use that other real estate agent, but we'd love to meet with you. So Willow went and did somewhat of a little small CMA. She wasn't sure about whether she was going to sell this listing or the condition of the house or anything. The house was gorgeous. They started talking. Next thing she knows, they said they love her. They love her knowledge, her experience. They want her to be their real estate agent on the buy and the sell. It was $1 million of transactions. So that's a good story. We didn't step on anyone's toes. They didn't have a signed relationship. And Willow made such a great impression and she was helpful and she wasn't pushy and they liked her and now they're our clients for life. So that is like a great example. I wanted to segue. There are things that you should not do. There are things like don't ask them if they're working with an agent. Don't ask them about pre-approval on the very first call. This is like asking someone their tax info. A total stranger is asking their tax info. Don't talk about, you know, don't try to pre-qualify them so much that you basically push them away. That would be, you know, my general advice to you until you meet with them. When you meet with them, you can ask all these questions. And then, you know, if you don't want to work with a pre-qualified person, don't work with them. That's your prerogative. You can make a choice of whatever you want to do. I would talk to them in person about buyer agency on the first time you meet. You have to give them the working with real estate agents brochure. You have to discuss how buyer agency works. You have to let them know that you are not the listing agent. You need to set up a proper buyer consultation or conversation. You need to ask them detailed questions about, you know, what they're looking for in a property, and you need to follow up. So you guys don't kill yourself to go meet a total stranger at a house and show 2 houses and then not follow up for feedback. This is a big mistake. Follow up is key. All right, so there are also scripts that I have from YLOPO. That's the type of website I have. I have this available to you guys if you want it. These are top of the funnel scripts, not for Zillow leads, but for people beginning their journey, deciding their wants and needs, shopping, and then asking for showings. And if you see this, look at first few months, 3 to 6 months, 6 months or more. These leads are not ready sometimes for a very long time. Would we like them to be ready this next weekend? Yes, of course. Even if you took an internet lead today, it's not likely that you're even going to get them under contract for at least 3 to 6 months. So remember, if you guys only have a budget of $1,000, $2,000, you're going to spend $6,000 to $8,000 until you actually start closing leads. That's really important to know. You need to make an investment in your business. If you were opening up a Starbucks or a Clean Juice or whatever, those companies would want you to fork over $350,000 before you even paid your first employee. Okay, before you even make your own sale. A sale, you're gonna have rent and electricity and all those things you have to pay before you actually sell your first coffee, right? So understand that internet leads, these people are a long time in their journey, and you have to work with them for quite a while and talk to them before you even get to show them a home. Sometimes they're not ready. Sometimes they don't live here. What do we do with agents that call and the person says, you know what, I'd love to see 123 Main Street at 3 o'clock, but I live in Michigan. What do you do? What do you do? So number one, best thing you could do a FaceTime virtual appointment at the home anyway. Now they see your face. Now they're getting to know you. You're walking through the house. It's only 20 minutes of their time and your time, and you're building a rapport. It's just as good as in person. Don't worry about it. Just try to do it. If they say, I don't really need to see a FaceTime video of that house, I was just clicking around, I do live in Michigan, you find out that they still do want to move here, but they're not coming for a couple months, you bet that I am blowing them up every single week and texting them and making sure that I get on their calendar and that I am following them like a hawk. I'm chasing them around, waiting for them to come into town so that I can be the first person they meet when they get here, right? So important. Don't forget, you have to have your leads in something that is going to organize them, and you need to be ready. Here are some common objections, if you can see this. Just looking, browsing, not ready, 12 months out. How'd you get my info? I always tell them, hey, you clicked on a website. If somebody gives me a bunch of junk and says, oh, why are you calling me? You called me 8 times today. I'm like, you know what? You put your information on Facebook and it gave me your phone number because I pay for leads, and I'm sorry. And they're like, oh yeah, I was clicking. They're really quick to jump on you guys, but I promise you, if you tell them the truth, they're just going to go, oh yeah. Oh no, that was my child. My child did that. No, that was my sister. I'm looking for my sister. You'll hear all this kind of stuff. I have an agent. I don't really want to talk to anyone. So there's some common objections in here. And like I said, if you guys email me, be happy to share some of this with you. So some of it applies, some of it doesn't. Here's also another thing you guys can do to keep track of what you do with your leads. As the leads start rolling in, it gets harder and harder when you start getting hundreds of leads in your database. Who to call, how many to call. I have these tracker sheets for my team, and you can put all in your dials every day, how many people answered. This will track your conversion for you and give you numbers that you might need. Another thing I have that you guys might want are texts that say, hey, I saw you were peeking at a few homes on one of our websites. Were you just looking for fun, or do you plan on making a move in the near future? I saw that you were peeking, if an ideal home came on the market tomorrow, is that something you would consider purchasing? This is motivation. This is seeking out motivation. We'd be happy if we could connect with you. Are you looking to make a move? We all know that buying a home is extremely complicated. Our goal is to simplify the process. Are there any questions that we can answer for you to simplify things? These are all things that text that you can use to get in touch with the consumer if they're ignoring all your phone calls. Here are the Zillow rules that they go by when they're recording the calls. They record the calls on my team. We have a scorecard. These are the rules. Did the agent introduce their name and brokerage and proactively acknowledge why the customer is calling? Yes or no? Appointment. Did the agent ask for an in-person or virtual showing appointment immediately after greeting the customer? Immediately. Hi, this is Sandy with Remax. How are you today? Great. Awesome. What time would you like to see 123 Main Street? Location. Did the agent ask what other properties the consumer would be interested in seeing? I see you clicked on 123 Main Street and I'll try to get that appointment for you. What other properties would you like to see when we're out there at 2 o'clock on Tuesday? What other homes would you like to see? Motivation. Did the agent ask what interested the customer about the property? So what interested you about 123 Main Street? Was it the pool? Was it the backyard? Was it the location? And can I identify if I find any other homes when I'm searching the MLS that meet this criteria? Do you mind if I make appointments for those as well? Easy, right? The don'ts would be, let me get back to the screen. The don'ts would be, don't pull up the property and interrupt the conversation flow. Do not look up the property. It's not about the property. They're not going to buy that property. It's about the consumer. It's about them and what they're trying to do. Do not look up the house and see if it's under contract. Do not give them bad news. They don't want to hear all that. Don't even look. You can look later. You know what? If you look later and the property's under contract, you can call them back and say, hey, 123 Main Street was under contract, but I made appointments for the other 3 houses we talked about. So that's fine. Did the agent attempt to discuss property specifics? These people sometimes just want to know, is there a bedroom on the 3rd floor? Is there a bathroom on the 2nd floor in the Jackson Jill, setup? Is there a bathroom? How many toilets are there? They ask me this stuff all the time. How big is the yard? They don't have any pictures of the yard. I want to know. Can you tell me? Don't be a waiter. Don't be a waiter. Don't be a waitress. You are not. Everybody has access to the MLS these days. Everybody can find any property and any pictures. Don't answer the question. Don't. Just say, you know what? That's a great question. All of those are great questions. I will answer them for you when we meet in person. Okay. Did the agent ask if the customer was pre-qualified? Do not ask them on the first call. That's like I said, it's like asking them the marriage before the proposal. I mean, people, that's like a horrible question to ask somebody. So, do you have any money? Like, I don't want to meet with you unless I know you have money. It's kind of rude. So yeah, don't do that. You haven't even met them yet. You have no idea. The idea is to engage them, to learn more about them. And it's not necessarily about whether they have a wallet or a checkbook. Have you guys ever heard of the people that say, there's a guy that looks really rough, like a farmer, whatever, he wears overalls, he's dirty, he has grime and dirt under his fingernails. And you might meet this guy and he owns millions and billions of dollars of real estate all over the county. If you would have asked that guy if he talked to a lender, he would tell you to stick it, right? I mean, that's rude, especially in the South. We're in the South right here. So whatever. Some of you guys are not in the South. Some of you guys are somewhere else. But I still think people take that like rudely. So until you get to know them, then you can start like feeling out that question later. Did the agent take a reactive approach other than the proactive one? So what Zillow wants you to know is follow a clear strategy, ask the right questions, basically steer the call. Don't let them ask you a bunch of questions and get you riled up and then get off the phone and then forget half the stuff you were supposed to ask them. And if that's the case, listen, you can't mess up. Call them back. Just call them back. It's not a big deal. Say, oh yeah, I forgot to ask you a few things. It's not that hard. You can't mess up. So I think I've gone over trackers, scripts for funnels, connection calls, like with Zillow leads, how to handle them, how to pre-qualify a customer without really pre-qualifying them, making the appointment. All of those are really, really important. And really, most importantly, really like learning to engage the consumer, because it's about helping them, really just trying to figure out what their goal is. So if that's all you focus on is what the person's goal is, and that you're really actually interested in them, what happens when you guys, like, think about this, like you guys are on these dating websites, some of you guys like Tinder and also like whatever, like eHarmony, I don't know, Match, right? You don't like go on there and ask these people, hey, do you own a home? Like, do you have any money in your bank account? Like, how much money do you have? Like, right off the bat, like, have you been married before? Whatever. You ask them about them. What color do you like? What is your favorite food? Right? Think about this. You don't ask those important questions right off the bat when you go on a date with somebody or have a coffee. You ask things that they like to answer. So it's the same thing. When you talk to an internet lead on the telephone, you're going to ask them things about, like, what are they looking for in a home? What colors do they like? How many, bedrooms do they want? How far is their work? Do they like to commute? Do they not want to commute? Where do they work out? Oh, you work out at Orange Theory. And what my team, we drill this all the time. Find a common denominator. Find something you have in common. Try really hard. Ask enough questions that if they say something, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have a cat? I have 2 cats. Oh my gosh, you have a dog? Me too. If you can't find something, I mean, it could be anything. A workout, like if they say to me they're like into, I don't know, like running or cycling, tennis. Yes. Somebody just gave a great example. Tennis. They told me, like, I love tennis. I'm like, oh, me too. And then all of a sudden, now they're my client. They love me. They want me to show them all the tennis courts of Lake Norman, get them in the tennis teams, like get them that leg up. You have to be a resource and you have to know what their goal is. So in order to do that, you have to ask a lot of questions. I call it Nosy Nelly. You need to be obnoxiously nosy. And actually, you think someone would take that as rude, but they don't. They answer all your questions. People are happy to talk about themselves, and they will, and it's amazing. So I like it. It's easy for me. Talking to people on the phone is so easy, and I can always find something to talk about. I can always find some common denominator, and I want that for you guys. It's not necessarily easy for everyone, but it's good to point out that it does take practice sometimes. My team and myself are always willing to be on a call with you guys and pretend. So we do this occasionally. We do it about once a month. We will have phone call where we'll have someone call in and say ring ring, and then the person on my team will say, hi, how are you doing today? Da da da. And this is Willow with Remax, and just wanted to see if you'd like to see 123 Main Street today or tomorrow. And the person on my team might be super difficult just for fun and do all the things that really try to trip you up. And then we're all laughing and giggling because people do the stuff they do. They might say, oh yeah, no, I don't want to see it. I just want to know if there's a bedroom upstairs on the 3rd floor. And then, the Willow might be like, well, hey, that's great. That's a good question. I can find that out for you. Are there any other homes that that you've been looking at online? And you have to stay with the process. And you guys, it's harder than it sounds. Like if you're tripped up on something, you forget what you're supposed to say next. And so I always tell people, put ALM, like tattoo it on your hand, whatever you need, a piece of paper. Make sure you're in a good place when you answer these calls and you're not driving in the car and you're not distracted, because you might not be able to do a good job of interviewing the customer and trying to set an appointment. So yeah, I'm going to now open it up to questions. You guys might have a lot of questions, or you might not have any questions. I don't know. I forget oftentimes how hard and this is, and how really, I guess, intimidating internet leads can be when you get on the phone. So I'm going to turn it over to someone if you guys want to take off your microphone and ask anything. I want you to be better. If you're going to spend money on these leads, I want you to be better at converting them, especially with those of us at our company at Remax. There's a lot of folks on here not at our company, just by the way.
I think this is really good, Sandy. And a lot of times what I tell my team too is, they're already not working with you. So what do you have to lose? Like, just pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose. You've already spent a ton of money buying their information. Follow up, follow up, follow up until they tell you to go away. I mean, if they hang up on you.
What is your favorite source right now?
Well, I have to say Zillow Flex because they are bottom of the funnel, ready to go. All the concierge calls we're getting are just fantastic. But the second best would be Google pay-per-click. I am getting amazing Google LSA, which is Google Local Service Ads calls. That is a whole nother animal, you guys. If you want to get on there, I can tell you how to do it. But those are calls from Google. You do have to have a lot of reviews. It's important to have Google reviews. On the side, while focusing on teaching yourself this, you can also be focused on gaining reviews from your sphere and past clients. You make it a job. I would spend 5 hours a week trying to chase people down for reviews. And don't put it past you to offer Starbucks gift cards or pizza or whatever for reviews. Really, it's not illegal. I mean, really. Hey, I mean, there's some agents that have like hundreds of fake reviews, so whatever. All my reviews are real. But I mean, I tell my team, we focus on getting reviews. We do it every quarter. We focus on getting an additional 20, 30 reviews, because remember, these folks are doing their research online. They click on Zillow, they talk to you on the phone. They're Googling you guys, they're Googling you sometimes. So the more good stuff you have out there about how you conduct your business, the better. So I would focus on reviews. Get some Google Local Service Ads calling you, Google pay-per-click. It's so easy to set up, you guys. You can Google. You can go to YouTube and find out how to run a Google pay-per-click campaign and spend, a few $100s a month and get some really qualified leads. But remember, if you're going to get 20 leads, you need to follow up at least 100 times on all those 20 leads, and then you have to follow them around for the next 2 years. So make sure you do have some kind of organized database, whether it's Booge or Follow Up Boss or Buffini Referral Maker, even whatever it is, you guys need to have somebody putting this data in the database, and then you need to be following up with them on a regular basis. Worst case scenario, at least once a month. If you're a single agent and you don't have a lot of resources and you have a couple thousand sphere and database leads in your database, worst thing, I mean, just if anything, touch base with everyone once a month. Even if it's a mass email, do something. I mean, I know we all get busy, but you actually, and Brooke is a coach, you guys. She's a very workman coach, and she can actually talk to you about if you're interested in doing consultation and maybe coaching with her. She is like the master of time blocking. Like, she will show you how to time block your prospecting, time block reaching out to your sphere, time block reaching out to the leads, making sure that you do it every single day. The more you do it, the more successful that you will be. It's a numbers game. Any more questions? Does anybody have any leads that they're dealing with right now and they feel like they suck? I like a challenge.
I dare anyone to say that to you after what you just went through.
Yeah. Commissions, Inc. leads, Boomtown leads, those are all real hard, you guys. I will say, because these folks are getting, they're clicking on little crazy funnel ads, and they're not exactly sure what they're clicking on sometimes. So you do some of those other companies just sell anybody that clicks on anything to you. And so you have to be really mindful that they have no idea what they clicked on. And so you can't just like set an appointment right off the bat. You have to say, hey, you clicked on something. I don't know if you remember you clicked on something Thursday night at 2:00 in the morning, but I'm here for you. I work at Remax. So where do you live? Like, I don't know, you start asking them questions just to get them engaged. Because, if they're not even sure what they're clicking on, they might not even know why you're calling. And then there's a lot of confusion, right? So, some people ask me different types of leads. What do I do? What do I do? There are a lot of common objections. I think I have a list somewhere I can email you guys too. So I think everyone has my contact info or is on my Facebook. If you're not on my Facebook, Facebook me and I'll add you as a friend. I post a lot of content on there too.
How do you convert somebody from being a land lead to a house?
So I wouldn't necessarily focus on, so the question was, how do you convert somebody from being a land lead to a house? So actually they just convert themselves, right? So somebody comes in on a piece of land for 30,000. Oh, that's the other thing, you guys. Don't look at a lead and go, ooh, this is going to be a yucky one. I sold that $30,000 land lead. I sold them a $740,000 house in Denver. So when they came on as a land lead, I started talking to him about, what are you trying to do? He was like, well, I just want to buy a piece of property because I intend to build. When I started consulting him on building and the time process, all the time that it takes to do all that, I actually met with him at the land with a builder. I hooked him up with a builder. We talked about building costs. And he realized, man, this is like a 1.5-year process. He's ready to move a little sooner than that. And then he said, I think I might want to look at some resale homes. And then boom, like he was ready to transact a lot faster than, but you sell them the land.
Yeah.
If they have all the time in the world, it's a long-term project. They don't really need to build right now. They just want to buy the land, sell them the land. But guess what? You can make a referral with a builder and you can get paid on the build. You can get paid on the build and get a commission that way as well. And then you're going to get the sale of the house and the lot. I don't know how many times, you guys, someone told me, I'm moving to Lake Norman, I'm building and buying my dream home. They built and bought their dream home. And now I've been in this business long enough. We've already sold their dream home and now they're in another home every single time. I don't believe anyone when they say it's my last home ever. I don't even care. I don't care how old they are. Literally, they sell again and buy again, especially right now in this crazy market. I've had a lot of retirees sell their retirement home to make a chunk of change and then move somewhere else. So, and that was supposed to be their forever home. They're not forever homes. So yeah, so that is important to know, just focus on what they're trying to accomplish and not necessarily in the property itself. Because, I've had people do now 10+ transactions with me over their lifetime. So client is for life, right? Once you buy their data, you own it forever. And you can now market to them forever. And you can invite them to all your client events. You can invite them to your Christmas party. I still invite people that I've never met. I still invite my database to all of our stuff. I've never even met them. And I have not even met the past 2,000 leads that came in. It was my team members. But they're seeing my face every single place, on all the emails, on the videos, on the remarketing, on Facebook. Oh, another thing you guys can do is Facebook friends all the leads. Facebook friend them. Why do you care? Don't use Facebook for personal. Use it for business. I mean, you're a personal person on there and you have personal things, but add all these folks so they can see your posts about real estate. You're posting about real estate, you're posting articles. Now they're putting a face with a name. Now they're associating you as a real person and they're more likely to use you and be loyal to you. It's true. But if you never pick up the phone, you never Facebook friend them, you never text them, or you do it one time and you never do it again, another agent, especially someone like on my team, is going to get in touch. They're going to get in touch before you. And remember, these consumers are going on multiple websites. Just because they clicked on Zillow doesn't mean that's the only thing they clicked. So they might have clicked on multiple houses on multiple sites, and there's like 10 agents reaching out. Even if you're exclusive on your leads, the person is not exclusive on the websites that they're clicking on. So someone will get in touch with them, and it's whoever gets in touch really first. It's whoever meets first. It's the name of the game. Quick money on, quick draw. So you have nothing to lose. Don't be afraid. Blow them up. Oh, another trick. The realtor.com lady all those years ago told me a good trick, and you guys know this because people call you every day to sell you stuff. Call the lead. If it goes to voicemail, hang up and call it right back. What happens? If you see a number call, like, don't you think this is an emergency? I need to get it. Yes, right. And then they might be even a little mad when they answer and they're like, oh, it's a real estate agent. Who cares? Who cares? Yes, I'm a real estate agent. You inquired 5 seconds ago on Zillow on a house. And they're like, yeah, I'm just not ready to talk right now. I'm at work. Okay, great. When do you get off work? Can I call you at 5:30? Boom. Set the appointment. Okay, awesome. I know you can't talk right now. So I'm going to email you and text you my personal cell phone number, and I'm going to call you at 5:30. What happens at 5:30 when they ignore you again? Call, hang up, call back, text. Hey, are we still in the call? I'm here. You told me to call you at 5:30. Don't worry about bothering them. They told you. What would you do if you made an appointment with your doctor to talk at 5:30 and they didn't answer? You'd call them back. Keep calling until they answer. Text them. Say, what happened with our appointment? What's going on? Can we still talk about your housing? What are you trying to do? If 5:30 is not a good time, can I call you at 7? Those are all tactics, but they work. It seems a bit extreme to you guys. I know some of you are over there. I see you laughing and stuff, but like whatever, these work for us. And just to give you a little bit of background, we are at around 53 or 54 million under contract and closed for my team. And I would say half of it was Zillow. It's no joke. We took $1 million gross commission this year already. $1 million with the 5 people or 6 people that actually take leads on my team. A couple $100,000. It's no joke. So, I can be a resource for you. Don't hesitate to reach out. I have years and years and years of, I can't cover everything in this hour and something call. So I just kind of went over the highlights of everything just to give you a basic understanding, but really it takes a lot of practice and doing. You have to do it. If you guys want to practice on my leads in my database, I probably have about 400 or 500 in my name alone. I can just even let you log in and try it. You can't make a mistake. Yeah. So, there's other people on this call, like Jonathan's really good at leads. He does a lot of business with leads. He's a really good resource. Just say your name out there. Yeah, and there's, people on my team are also willing to share. They're all really nice and helpful. So if you have any additional questions, just email me, text me, Facebook me, anything. I can share you PDFs or anything else that I have for you, like to give you.